Today we're making a coffee and yuzu tonic, a bright refreshing cocktail that combines the rich complexity of coffee with the zesty brightness of yuzu. But before we get into this simple yet elegant cocktail, we should probably see the cocktail that came before it. We're adding a citrus-forward Japanese gin to a highball glass, followed by some yuzu super juice, adding a big old block of ice to it, stirring to chill, then topping with tonic. Now, the main issue with these espresso or coffee type drinks is that the cocktails are very heavily dependent on the freshness of coffee. I don't own an espresso machine, so I can't pull a fresh shot all the time, and I'm not 100% sold on the cold brew method, but I've been trying a bunch of different coffee concentrates and they work pretty nicely. However, they can get rather pricey, and while this looks and drinks like a delicious G&T with coffee, I want to try to make something a little less coffee brewing dependent. So, in coffee and yuzu tonic number 2, I'm combining two components into one. Meet whole coffee bean infused gin. For this application, we're using a lighter Nordic style roast with berry and citrus notes. This gets mixed with a bunch of gin, where the gin will extract the flavors of the whole beans. It's important to note that in this application, we're not really trying to brew a coffee in gin, which would leave the gin murky, but rather just infuse the gin mostly with the surface level oils. Leave this for about 24 hours, otherwise it will get bitter, and then strain. You can see that the gin takes on some of the color of the coffee beans while still being clear. The clarity is also good if you want to use the coffee bean gin in a forced carbonated cocktail. We could go the extra mile and do that, but today we're just going to make this a la minute. Let's add 2 dashes of yuzu bitters to a mixing glass, 1.5 ounces of our coffee bean infused gin, 1/2 ounce to 3/4 ounce of yuzu liqueur depending on the sweetness, and a barspoon of yuzu juice for a pop of acidity. Stir, then pour this into a highball glass, add a nice big block of ice, and then top it off with some tonic. This yuzu and coffee gin and tonic is clean and crisp with the floral notes of the light roast coffee complementing the citrus notes of the yuzu, and the bitterness of the tonic pulls the two flavors together. Cheers.